The Daughter of the Swan. The story of the most beautiful woman in the world begins with a deception. Zeus, the king of gods, looked down from Olympus and desired Leda, the queen of Sparta. Knowing he could not approach her in his true form, he transformed himself into a magnificent swan. He seduced Leda by the banks of the river Eurotas, and from this union Leda laid an egg. From that egg hatched Helen. Even as a child, Helen's beauty was terrifying. It was not merely human prettiness, it was a divine force that captivated anyone who looked upon her. By the time she reached womanhood, every king and prince in Greece desired her. They came to Sparta in droves, bringing lavish gifts, ready to kill each other for her hand. Her earthly father, King Tyndareus, was terrified. He knew that choosing one suitor would cause the others to unite in war against him. Sparta stood on the brink of destruction, all because of his daughter's face. The Oath of Tyndareus. It was the wily Odysseus who solved the problem. He saw that he had no chance of winning Helen, so he offered Tyndareus a solution in exchange for the hand of Helen's cousin, Penelope. His advice was simple but brilliant. Make them all swear an oath. Before the decision was made, every suitor had to swear on the severed pieces of a horse that they would defend the chosen husband against anyone who resented him. Bound by this sacred oath, the suitors stood down. Tyndareus chose Menelaus, a powerful prince of Mycenae, to be Helen's husband. Menelaus became the king of Sparta, and for a time there was peace. Helen bore him a daughter, Hermione, and lived the life of a dutiful, if perhaps bored, queen. But the gods were not done with her. The Judgment of Paris. Far away on Mount Ida, a Trojan prince named Paris was forced to judge a beauty contest between three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Each offered him a bribe. Hera offered power, Athena offered wisdom and victory in war, but Aphrodite, the goddess of love, offered him the most dangerous gift of all, the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris, young and driven by desire, chose Aphrodite. The goddess claimed the golden apple, and in return, she guided Paris to Sparta. When Paris arrived at Menelaus's palace, he was treated as an honored guest, but he had not come for friendship, he had come to claim his prize. Under the influence of Aphrodite, Helen was bewitched. Whether by force, magic, or sudden passion, she made the fateful decision to leave her husband, her child, and her kingdom. Under the cover of darkness, Paris and Helen fled to his ships, loading them with Spartan treasures. When Menelaus returned from a trip to Crete and found his wife and wealth gone, his rage shook the walls of the palace. He did not just see a broken marriage, he saw a violation of Xenia, the sacred law of hospitality, and a stain on his honor. Menelaus went to his brother, Agamemnon, the high king of Mycenae. Together, they invoked the Oath of Tyndareus. Messengers were sent to every corner of Greece, to Achilles, Odysseus, Ajax, Nestor, and Diomedes. The oath must be fulfilled, they cried. We sail for Troy. 1,000 ships gathered at the port of Aulis. It was the greatest armada the world had ever seen, a forest of masts destined for the shores of Asia, all for the sake of one woman. For 10 long years, Helen stood on the high ramparts of Troy, looking down at the bloody plains. She was a figure of tragedy and isolation. To the Greeks, she was the whore who caused the war. To the Trojans, she was a beautiful curse that brought death to their sons. She wove a tapestry of the battles, capturing her own guilt in red thread, trapped in a golden cage of her own making. The war ended not with a battle, but with a trick, the wooden horse. As Troy burned and its people were slaughtered, Menelaus hunted through the flames for his wife, sword in hand, determined to kill her for her betrayal. He found her huddled near a statue of Aphrodite, her clothes torn, waiting for death. Menelaus raised his sword to strike, but then Helen looked up. She bared her breast to the steel, ready to accept her fate. At that moment, the power of her beauty struck Menelaus like a physical blow. The sword fell from his hand. The rage of 10 years evaporated in an instant. He did not kill her. Instead, he led her back to his ship. They returned to Sparta, where she reigned once more as queen. But the ghosts of the dead, the thousands of men who died for her vanity and the gods' games, would haunt her legend forever. She remains the face that launched 1,000 ships, a symbol of the destructive, terrifying power of beauty.